Yep, so kind of going through the stuff that I was just talking about. Um, Once you play through the line of their attack, you'll find the midfield. Then you're looking at breaking that line to get to the defense and then create opportunities. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot more detail for sure, more than probably I really know. But I think I gave some stuff that is in line with what Ashley would say here. From an individual respect for your niece and nephew, I would coach lots of touches off of the ball to make them comfortable, working on the inside, outside, and laces of the boot to take touches. When one foot is dribbling, the other foot needs to be taking lots of steps. Yes, you need to be kind of dancing. It's like I was telling Daniel. You got to be willing to move and constantly readjust so that you stay balanced and in the most advantageous angle or space with the ball. If the foot that isn't touching the ball is not taking lots of steps, the ball will stop as well. The reason we have a stronger foot is because the balance of our strong foot is rubbish. To be good with both feet and get better balance with strong foot, and then work on the standing foot. Standing foot on the weaker foot. I do this a lot, and all the players I work with are both footed. That's great. So it really, getting balance going on both feet, and how much that standing foot is actually what helps your coordination, I guess, with your quote unquote weak foot. Then working on passing, I always call it an open foot brush. The first thing you need is a good standing foot. Without that, you can't control the pass. Open the foot and keep it open as you go through the ball. Keep the foot off the floor and open after contact. Maximizes the power and is technically the best. Yeah, so keep that open as you go all the way through. For shooting, the same but more laces. Big touch creates more power, but still need a good standing foot and keep the leg off the floor after contact to maximize the power. So I think with this one, the leg off the floor after contact is referring actually to the standing foot. Maybe not, but maybe both. I guess maybe it just depends. Because I notice definitely when I get a lot of power that the foot that I'm standing on, I'm really pushing off it, to gain some of that whipping power with the foot that I'm kicking with. And between that drive and the momentum of my leg kicking, I kind of twist as well as almost jump off the ground with that standing foot. And I think we'll go back into what Ashley's saying here, because then when your foot follows after the strike, that's where the ball goes. I like that, so no matter what angle you're going at, where that shooting foot goes, that's where the ball is going to go. It might be change a little bit if you're really slicing the ball, but Ashley could also be talking about the standing foot, which is one of the few things I feel like I was taught in soccer, is that you want the standing foot, or what would be your pivot foot in basketball, you want that to be going in the direction that you're actually trying to kick the ball, right? That's going to be the easiest way to be, I think, to have your hips, open up, shoulders towards the target as you swing through. There is, the technique, of hooking, which players do, like for penalties and for shooting, where their hips and their foot are actually going in the, I guess you could say, opposite direction of where you end up kicking it. Like your foot may be going to the far post, but you're actually kicking the ball, you're hooking it kind of inwards towards the near post. So I would maybe defer to Ashley on that. He says he has an Instagram, and I'm waiting to get that exact account, because it sounds like it would be much more helpful than this. Anyway, back to what he's saying. Where your foot follows after the strike is where the ball goes. Where your body is facing is where the ball goes. Yep, exactly. Just like kind of what we talked about with basketball. So again, not another tangent here, but this is, I think, just goes into kind of what I talk about with the basketball stuff, is that there is, this center point in your body that you kind of need to have a relationship with when it comes to turning and movement. You can just kind of feel the way that your body really moves. And there is this, kind of center point, this almost this gravity that remains consistent through a lot of sports, as it seems like with soccer and basketball. Anyway, hope that wasn't too abstract or something, but that's the best way I can think of to describe it right now. Moving on, back to Ashley. I do loads of dribbling, working on the 3 main dribbling techniques that work in games: turns, spins, and chops. Yeah, I think you could look up those things if you need help understanding what they are. But this all, makes perfect sense. And I think this is basically different touches and footwork to get around opponents. Like in basketball, you talk about like a front pivot or a reverse pivot. Some of these, you're going to be able, need to be able to do both. And the different touches, likely depend on the defender, how close they are, stuff like that. Whether you would need to take a sharp angle, kind of thing as on a quick turn, or if you would almost need to take 2 touches, one going outside and then another one up the field on a much tighter, maybe even, flat sort of angle. Chops. That seems like something I guess you could do on both ways of receiving, whether you're facing your defender or your back's to the defender going up the field. But chops, definitely super helpful, even for just going back in a way that has the ball a little bit more protected, because it's going behind your foot. I guess it doesn't have to. You can just chop in that front of that front foot too, and it's great, especially if you can bounce it a little bit in the air. But there's that Ronaldo chop, where you go behind the foot and kind of cut on the defender or move the ball backwards. So anyway, yes, man, this is just great stuff. Turns, spins, chops. If you see my Instagram, you'll find lots of videos of these. I asked him what the Instagram account is, so once I get that, I'll post it in the description. Sorry for a long message, just the least you deserve. I don't do nothing. But not a long message. This is great, man. I hope people take advantage of this for people that do either have kids playing soccer, or for those kids, when they do hear this stuff, that they would really, try to take it to heart, because there's some really good things to understand here, that even if you didn't get a lot of reps, it could really help you become a much better player. Thanks, Ashley, and hope this was helpful.